Hello and welcome back to Cardano Coin, where we bring you the most recent and intriguing ADA news. We're giving away 1,000 ADA to those who are watching. All you have to do is upvote, subscribe, comment Cardano is king and watch the video to the end to be eligible. The winners will be picked next month and publicized on the community page of the channel. Weighted sentiment has recently improved a little, indicating that investors' expectations for Cardano ADA have increased a little. Most likely, this is the turning point in the rising trend that we have all been waiting for. Whatever the response, it is clear that investors have begun to view Cardano in novel ways. While the Securities and Exchange Commission continues to work on presenting a convincing classification for cryptocurrencies that are securities, the CCO of the blockchain project, Coin, in response to some misunderstanding in recent tweets, Gene Hoffman offered his side. Ethereum XRP FTX, token Solana, Avalanche, and Cardano coins were also mentioned, with Hoffman emphasizing that they have always been securities. Hoffman explicitly addressed Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and exchange coins, asserting that they are not securities. Given that the problem about the currency has been corrected since the same issue was brought up a few months ago, it is somewhat perplexing why Cardano is featured on his list. This single claim is sufficient to deter investors from becoming drawn to the network. It is not necessary to discuss owning 750 coins or even to try to categorize certain coins as securities or non-security. Hoffman added that ventures shouldn't rely on investors buying their tokens or coins in order to legally raise money in the US. There are alternative approaches that won't endanger potential investors. It's crucial to remember that not all cryptocurrencies are securities, even though they undoubtedly share some features with securities. In particular, Bitcoin is seen as a respectable realized and non-security, meaning that it does not grant investors a stake in the project or a percentage of the business's revenues. Another feature is shared by Cardano. As the lone provider of practical decentralized solutions by the second half of last year, Cardano's decentralized finances were not the ecosystem's strongest component. Such a propensity was linked to the network's transaction bookkeeping mechanism. Nevertheless, between now and 2023, things could change. The network's total asset value stayed at $350 million in 2022, when the TBO hit its all-time high of $50 million, a considerable decline from the network's current TBO of $50 million. Such a high value is startling in light of the dearth of variety, centralized solutions, and the Cardano environment. And the new year Cardinal promises to launch a number of algorithmic stable coins that, given their convenience for the network and ability to withstand a market rebound in 2023, should be far more valuable to it than decentralized exchanges or yield-forming platforms. Should easily surpass the somewhat minor $350 million. Cardano TVO is expected to reach new highs. 2022. It is obvious that the present level of block funds will not cause Cardano to reach new heights. And for this reason, developers are placing a lot of money on the DeFi sector as one of the best and easiest ways to bring new capital into the network at current time. Despite a successful conclusion to 2022 and the start of 2023, Cardano was still having trouble, going in a protracted downward trend. The stagnation of the DeFi NFT businesses and the absence of new investment into the cryptocurrency market both led to the decline of ADH in 2022 and may still be the primary pressure on the coin in 2023. This does not, however, change the fact that Cardano is a wise investment. The issue is simply that there are far more negative aspects than positive ones. In January, the cryptocurrency community set a positive price estimate for Cardano for 2023, perhaps taking into account the network's expanding usage. An average of about 3,400 individuals of the cryptocurrency community mentioned the ADA price, according to CoinMarketCap. With predictions for the end of May 2023, the cryptocurrency community appears to be growing more optimistic with each passing minute. At 30 cents, this is a gain of more than 200%. It is crucial to remember that the predictions made by the crypto community might not happen at all. Based on the network, the historical accuracy of the community is just over 41%. Recent studies indicate that 60% according to a recent research from Crypto Globe, ADA may be significantly undervalued in September, October 2022, and all the way to 6.8% in December. This suggests that there is an optimistic outlook for the cryptocurrency and a potential price increase for ADA. Sentiment also observed that ADA sharking well solves the strong accumulation of 100,000 to 10 million coins over the last 6 weeks, while the crypto's price has been steadily declining. Additionally, the analytics platform noticed that when looking at realized profits and losses, there may be signs that sellers are declining since with each large price decline, fewer and fewer coins are being sold at a loss. Shifting onto Crypto Compare, it was discovered that users were increasingly moving their funds away from centralized platforms and toward decentralized alternatives and self-custody in the wake of FTX's collapse. According to a report by Crypto Comparison, this action increased the platform's average daily active user base. Similar to this, the network's monthly transactions increased by 5.3% to 2.3 million last month, the most since April. You have more than enough justification to invest in Cardano and get 750 coins. The ecosystem is still unceasing in releasing technologies that will be crucial to its growth in 2023. One such instance is CARP, a novel Cardano SQL indexer and DB Sync substitute. Anyone can use this tool, which was made available by the blockchain-based startup DC Spark, to run a local price indexer for Cardano's native assets. DC Spark claims that the tool performs this solely using data from the chain itself and does not require a third-party API. And in its official announcement, DC Spark describes Card as a super fast, super flexible indexer for Cardano that now supports indexing the top DEX. CTO and co-founder of DC Spark Sebastian Guillemot added that the tool is free to use because it does not require an API. We can't wait to see what you all build with this and which other DEX are added next. The project catalyst for the ramp program constructed with Cardano funds already supports 3 Cardano decentralized exchanges. MenSwap, SundaySwap, and Wing Riders are a few of these. CARP has already been launched. The community has endorsed Cardano's other advances, which number in the dozens. The CIP, which will form the core of the optional upgrade plan for some time in 2023, was recently explained by Jay Crypto, host of the instructional podcast produced by the Cardano Center. Additionally, CIP 1694 will present a framework for on-chain governance. This will act as a stepping stone before Cardano enters the voluntary phase. Charles Hoskinson, the creator of Cardano, has praised the podcast for its attempts to comprehend the CIP. The Cardano community was further urged by him to study the CIP and express their thoughts on this most recent development. Finally, Cardano is beginning to receive their quote. I'm glad to see the community going through this, and I'd like to encourage everyone in Cardano to read the CIP and give your thoughts, both positive and negative, on it. Cardano has been given the job of fully implementing decentralized governance at the protocol level with the next optional upgrade. As previously mentioned by Charles Hoskinson, the improvement will put Cardano far in front of the opposition. Additionally, Cardano is still working on additional initiatives like Hydra and Metro, which will greatly aid Cardano's growth. Because of the substantial contributions on his GitHub repository, Cardano is now the blockchain network that is being most actively developed. After a few decades, it's worth noting that cryptocurrencies and crypto projects have developed into intriguingly exceptional, which is quickly becoming a wonder. There are a number of blockchains available with broad applications that portray the market as a beautiful destination for both novice and experienced investors to visit. It's the reality that, in contrast to other widely used currencies and commodities, the value of cryptocurrencies might fluctuate. This is sometimes linked to his relatively tiny market size, which means that a smaller sum of money can greatly affect Bitcoin prices. The headlines are typically dominated by tales of people who made millions during a crypto upswing, but there are also tales of people who lost everything during downswings. The value of cryptocurrencies changes based on views of their value at any particular time, much like any market. These variations may be caused by unobserved market dynamics or a combination of supply and demand factors. Cardano is unquestionably one of the high-potential cryptocurrencies and blockchain networks that have been making waves in the market.